Welcome to another client adventure. On this trip, we're heading from Bourke in New South Wales over to Arkaroola village in South Australia. We're going to be heading down through the Darling River system and passing through towns of Louth and Tilpa, heading towards Willcania. Then heading up to the opal town of Whitecliffs before getting to the historic town of Milparinka. And then Tibooburra on our way to Cameron's Corner, where three states meet: Queensland, New South Wales and South Australia, before heading down the infamous Strzelecki Track into Arkaroola village. Bourke is located on the Darling River, 110 metres above sea level, lying on the edge of the desert and servicing the surrounding large pastoral properties. The town was once an important port on the Darling River, with wool from all across western New South Wales and southwestern Queensland being transported by bullock wagons and shipped down the river to South Australia. In 1835, the explorer Sir Thomas Mitchell built a fort in the area, which he named Fort Bourke in honour of the Governor of New South Wales, Sir Richard Bourke. Bourke's population is just under 2,500 people, and the median age is 37 years of age. You have two caravan parks in Bourke. The first is Mitchell, which is right in town, or the Kidman Camp, which is in North Bourke, just over the river. After walking through the caravan park, you head down a dirt track to the Jandra paddle boat, which was originally built in 1894. This new paddle vessel was the first to run on the Darling River in 60 years and was commissioned in 2000. We say goodbye to Bourke and start heading down to Willcania on the Louth Road. This is where we leave the bitumen and start getting used to dirt roads. A 100 kilometres south of Bourke is Louth. This tiny little settlement sits on the banks of the Darling River, which came into existence the moment paddle steamers reached Bourke and Rowena. The boys looking excited for another adventure. Time to head off and go 85 k's to Tilpa. The corrugations can be brutal, but if you let your tire pressures down to about 30 psi, that'll help absorb a lot of the pressure and give you a smoother ride. With these long drives, the landscape's always changing. This historic town sits on the western banks of the Darling River and was once a bustling trade port for paddle steamers and has a population of 44 people. Great facilities, good camping. Even a shower and toilet block. After a quick drink and a trickle, we're back on the road and heading down to Willcania, and then to Whitecliffs for our night stay. Willcania had the third largest inland port in the country during the riverboat era, during the mid-19th century. Willcania now has a population of 745 people. Refueled and now heading to Whitecliffs. Whitecliffs is nothing like Lightning Ridge, even though both towns are famous for opal mining. Whitecliffs has a population of 150 people. Most people live and work in these dugouts. Farewell Whitecliffs, we're going to make our way to Milparinka. On our way to Milparinka, you're 60 k's out of Whitecliffs, you come to the think tank. This vast land becomes a large catchment area for rainwater, and that's what causes all these small creeks to flow like rivers. We're off the dirt and onto the Silver City Highway. The Royal Flying Doctors used this runway on the highway for emergencies. On the side of the highway you see the tool trees. One's the tool tree and the other is the baby tool tree. We arrive at the historic town of Milparinka. The historic town of Milparinka has a population of around 70 people. I believe just over here on the right hand side is free camping out the back there, but we're going to leave and head to Tibooburra, which is approximately 40 k's, refuel before we head to Cameron's Corner. Into Tibooburra for some lunch and refuel before we head over to Cameron's Corner for the night. Tibooburra means heaps of rocks in the local Aboriginal language. Tibooburra has a population of 134. Yes, that's local gold put into the bars timber benchtop with lacquer over the top. Here at Tibooburra Pioneer Park is a replica whale boat that's 27 foot long. It was used in Charles Sturt's expedition in 1844 where they went looking for an inland sea which didn't exist. Time to leave Tibooburra and head over to Cameron's Corner, 138 kilometers away. We take the Dune Scenic Drive. Arriving at the Big Bandicoot, we've only got 13 k's to get to Cameron's Corner. Arriving at Cameron's Corner and having a look at the little bilby. The dingo fence is the longest fence in the world. It stretches from the Darling Downs in Queensland all the way down to the cliffs of the Nullarbor Plains in South Australia. It's approximately 5,300 kilometres long and was put in 1946 to protect the sheep in South Australia from the dingoes and wild dogs in New South Wales and Queensland. Cameron Corner is the point where South Australia, New South Wales and Queensland meet. Cameron's Corner store has camping for $10 per vehicle. There's also Donga-style accommodation. You get showers, and in the bar they have food and that available as well. After a good night's rest, it's time to head out to the Strzelecki Track, which is 120 kilometres away. This 120 kilometres of road is really good and an enjoyable drive. And we nearly had beef for dinner. This is the corner where you can turn right and head up to Milparinka, or go straight ahead approximately 12 kilometres and you'll come to the Strzelecki Track. We hit the Strzelecki Track. We're going to turn left and head down to the Flinders Ranges. We thought we got lucky and we had bitumen road, but unfortunately it didn't last for long, and the roads are probably some of the worst conditions I've ever seen. From this intersection it should be 123 kilometres till we get to our next turn off to Arkaroola. You got to keep your eyes open for the turn off because this is it and not much signage.
Oh, this looks like a back straight.
It's 197 kilometres to Lyndhurst. Apparently we're at the Mount Hopeless turn off, but there was no signs for Mount Hopeless, which was pretty hopeless. Keep an eye out for our next episode where we go down through the Flinders Ranges. Thanks for watching.